journals through spreadsheet. So you should click on this, create journals through spreadsheet. There will be a hyperlink only. So we can get downloaded that Excel. So you need to click on open file. Okay. Click on open file from your downloads from your machine. Then you need to click on enable editing. Click on enable editing. And then system will ask you to again connect. Right. So before connecting, you need to validate the URL and this instance link. So in the project, when you are performing any testing, right? So you make sure you have connected into your local lower instances, whether it is test or development. You should not connect a production instance to do any testing in the. See, sometimes what will happen is you will have a URLs from test or development instances and production instance also. If you keep open the instances in the browser, okay, in this browser, if you keep open multiple instances, production instance in one tab and this tester development in another tab, so in that case you will get confused, or system will take a wrong direction also. When you are performing some testing in the development, it may route to production. So in that case, you need to close the production instance URL and keep open only the tester development, the one you are making creation of the testings journals. Okay. So that way we can rectify and reduce the human errors. Okay. So you can check the instance link here before connecting, right? So click on SMD. Then again, you need to enter the user ID and password, the one we have used for the main login, and the same user ID password we have to enter here to log in into this ADFDA journal entry spreadsheet. Enter the username. Enter the password as well. Click on sign in and now the system is asking you want to download a ADF desktop integration, add in a new version. No need to download it again. Just click on skip only. Right. So now you have the creation of journals page. Okay. So you can see here create journal and so this is the create journals. You can go from here. So there will be a login option, logout option from this Excel also. So now you have connected this Excel to your instance. So whatever data you are going to create in this Excel, okay, then if you submit it, then this data will be posted into your instance automatically, this application itself. Okay, we have the interface connected from this Excel to your application. Okay, so for login and log out, you can use these buttons. And if you have entered the data here, if you want to clear out, okay, if it is invalid, you can use this button, all clear data. So the options you don't need to require and about this version of this application, Excel latest version and all if you want to check. Finally, the submit button. Once you have validated, entered all the data, the journals related data, you can use this submit button to upload the data into the ledger books. So now there is one more important thing is, so data access set, and here the data access set is HMID primary ledger. So I can able to only post or create the journals in this Excel by using only this ledger. I can't able to post into another ledger, right? Since this Excel downloaded only for this ledger. Why? Because we have assigned only the data access set for this ledger in the application. So you keep remember when you have a data access set in this application, right? HMI in the primary ledger, then you are downloading the general spreadsheet. So that is why it is only appearing this. But if you change this data access set from this ledger to another ledger, then you don't need to download it again so that other ledger related journals you can create into the new Excel spreadsheet that way. So types of issues like sometimes users have a multiple data access, but they don't change the data access. They don't know. They will have only one data access assigned initially, but they want to try to post in a different ledger, but the data access set is not changing. But when they're downloading the data, spreadsheet, they will have one data access, I mean one ledger name, but their expectation to be created into another ledger. Okay, since they have not changed the data access as another ledger, so they are unable to create the journals into another ledger since that ledger name is not going to populate in this Excel since they have not made any changes in the data access. In that case, they need to change here by selecting the new ledger name, and again they need to download a new Excel spreadsheet. Okay. Then you have something called group ID, and this is also very important. This group ID is generated by system itself. You no need to modify or change. Okay, this is user specific, and this ADFD specific ID generated by the application itself. Though it's a text field, but you should not touch this. So it may interrupt the data creation. Okay. So user specific group ID. So whenever the user is submitted any data, so it is taking directing from this, interfaces of ADFD spreadsheet to your application itself. If something goes wrong, we may refer this group ID like who created, how many times he submitted, now we can refer. So source also you can see and so source will be always spreadsheet and don't change this. So whenever we create any journals, by using this ADFDA, so always the source should be a spreadsheet. We should not change the source. Okay. So these are the three defaulted ones. You should not able to change the data access set, the group ID and source only. Rest of the fields you need to enter. Okay, manually. So you can see here, right? Journal name, the description, the ledger name. So journal name, journal description is text field and you can populate the data manually. Okay, let me populate some data. The journal name, journal description, and select your ledger name. So whatever the ledger assigned to your user account, that ledger name will populate here in the list of value and select the accounting date and the system accounting date. Okay. Adjustment period. Adjustment period is not required. And category of the journal also you need to enter it. Okay, or else you can select. If you double click on the line, so it will show you the list of values. I'm selecting the adjustment journals. Click on OK. So you can enter manually, or if you just click on this, field twice, right? System will show you pop up and select the values and reversal period. Only this reversal period, if you want to, reverse this journal in the next period, then only you need to select the reversal period. For adjustment, if you don't want to, reverse this, you need to select the reversal period. You can see these are the not mandatory fields. Only the business will use this reversal period and a reversal date when they're trying to create some, accrual journals, or that reclassification journals, or sometimes revaluation journals automatically create those. We have a reversal period. So 90% cases only at accrual journals will have a type of journal is accrual category. So when they're selected as a accrual category journals, only in that case they will select the reversal period. Okay. Now I'm not selecting anything. Reversal data is not required. You can see the journal attachment URLs. So if you want to populate some URL data, okay, as an evidences, so you can populate that URLs as well here. Okay. Journal validation status system will automatically populate it. Okay. Then again, total entered debit, total entered credit, and total accounted debit, total accounted credits. All these amounts will be automatically populated once you have entered the data here. Okay. Now see the journal lines information. Okay. Under journal lines information, you can see two tabs only, right? Single journal and multiple journals. So if you want to create one single journal to be uploaded into the application, you can use the first tab called single journal. Okay. Or if you want to create a multiple journals, more than one journal, if you want to upload into the system, right? So you can use the multiple journals tab, right? How I have created the multiple journals, in the UI manually in the last class, right? One single batch, we can upload a multiple journals. So that multiple journals creation we can do by using this second tab called multiple journals. We just click on this second tab, right? Multiple journals. So here you can upload the multiple journals by using this multiple journals spreadsheet. Same details, and we are just entering a more journals into the single batch, or multiple batches and multiple journals you can create. Yeah. So let me create one single journal first for your understanding. Then we can go and create the bulk journals by using this spreadsheet only. The business users prefer only this Excel uploads and always, instead of going and creating manually in the application itself. So please be careful how to enter in and how to create the journals. Please check. So you can see the changed and row status Sunday. This changed and row status will be automatically populated once you have entered the data and validated. So these are the grayed out fields. You don't need to do anything. System automatically populates some values. So whatever the fields we are entering, those only you need to concentrate and check the data, what kind of data we are entering. See, so these are the segments and the company cost center, natural intercompany product, feature one. So these are the segments we have created part of chart of accounts, right? So those only we are entering here as a code combination. Okay, we need to select the values. If you hit on this, any of the field from the company or cost center, it will, allows us to select the values from the list. So what are the values we have created under value set? So what are the values and data is available in the application? That data we are going to select here itself. Since we have already connected, right, to this Excel to the application, we have entered user ID and password. That way, the system is giving the data to select from the Excel itself. Yeah. So you can see the segments, the company cost, international account, intercompany product, feature one, feature two, currency. So the currency you need to select the debit amount, the general amount you need to populate, right? Conversion rate and conversion rate type also you might need to select. Okay, these are the additional information only. So if any data having any errors, then it will show up here. the direction of the error message, you need to check, and accordingly you need to correct your data and revalidate the data in the Excel itself, the same page. Let me select some code combination for the testing purpose. So I'm just hit on this button twice. So you can see this accounts you can select. There is a search option over here, right? So click on the search button and so you can have the segments creation selection page. Let me select some dummy testing segment values. Just click on OK. So I have selected all segments, right? And just click on OK. So all the segment values are populated for all the segments we have, right? I have not selected manually in the each value. I just selected in company, just double click on this value, then system is asking to, select the combination. So once you have selected, it get populated in all the segments, right? Then select the currency. So for currency selection also, you can use double click on this, or else you can populate manually if you know. INR, that's our Indian ledger currency. So what is our ledger currency? And this is for India. So INR is our ledger currency we have assigned when we are doing the chart of accounts, right? When we are doing the ledger creation, we used to select the forces, right? Can someone tell me about forces? What are the forces?
Currency,
Mhm.
calendar,
Yes, sir.
chart of account convention method.
Perfect. So where we are using these forces and in which setup? So while defining the ledger, right, while creating this ledger, so these forces are mandatory fields and so these forces are prerequisite setup to create a ledger. ఓకేనా సో లెడ్జర్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఈ ఫోర్సెస్ అనేది మనం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం యాజ్ ఎ మ్యాండేట్ సో దీస్ ఫోర్సెస్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ టు క్రియేట్ ద లెడ్జర్ అండి రైట్ దెన్ ఎంటర్ డెబిట్ అమౌంట్. So if you enter the debit amount, then we treating this line as a debit line. Okay. Then again you need to populate one more credit line. So each debit you should enter a one credit line and so if you enter 100 rupees in the debit amount, then you need to populate the same kind of information into the credit as well. Yeah. I'm just copying the testing purpose, same data. I'm not selecting again. So you can also do that same. But change the natural account. Here we in the real time, they will users will enter the these combination values as per the business scenario purpose. So the account will be different from the debit and credit. That way, it will hit on the. We have entered one debit line, one credit line, part of journal creation. So now you see, Andy, the change is changed. So this flag is updated now. Okay. So if you have entered something in these rows, this changed option, changed pop up data will be showing as this arrow mark. Okay. So then once you have saved and uploaded this lines into the application, then the row status also will show. I mean, like inserted successfully or failed, something like. Okay, now I have entered the journal creation data. Then I'm going to submit. So while submitting, system will ask you to some options to choose. Submit option serve to interface, save to interface, or option submit journal import, submit journal import and posting. So always we prefer submit journal import and posting. It means this journal is going to get created automatically into the application and go for posting as well automatically. We don't need to, go and post the journal manually, right? If any approvals required, it will go for approvals and waiting for the approval. Once the approval is, approved by the another person, if we have such, configuration to the application, then it will immediately go for posting, and in that way, automatically posting and creation. Okay, after importing the journal. And import, no, if you want, you don't want to import this journal, or just you want to upload it, you can use the options and descriptive flexible without validation. See, always we will use these two options only by default: submit journal import and posting, and flexible yes without any validation. And it means I don't want to stop in the interface, it will go for posting. So these are the by default options. And we have option send email notification for journal failures, right? So if you click on this enable checkbox, right, so you will get an email notification for to your inbox, email inbox, saying that just this journal is processed successfully and imported. That way of communication also you will get it. So where you are entered your email address to get this notification. So when we are creating the main user account, right? So there we have email ID option. If you give that email ID option to your profile, the same email ID, you're going to get these notifications. Yep. So I'm just clicking on submit. I'm not enabling anything. Just click on submit. Now you see the submit processing upload changes. You can see the row status now and then. So this is very important. So you can see your process, some process ID generated has been submitted. Okay. You just copy this process ID only. And if you see here the row status, row inserted successfully. Okay, row inserted successfully means the data is submitted to your application, to the interface. Okay, so there is an interface and in between the Excel and application. Okay, so first these journal data will go into the interface, then the job will trigger again import journals. Okay, that import journal program is going to get this data from the interface and get posted into your application. We call it as base tables. So interface table, base table, and technical words. So please keep remember, interface table means the table where it is going to get stored in the information in the first stage before reaching out to the application. So from this application, from this Excel, we have submitted the data. So it will go and sit in the interface first. So when it is sitting in the interface, it will check the, all the application validations. If any errors, like if you see, if the period is not open, okay, I have entered the accounting date as December. So if in the application, I have not opened that period, then it will not, it will not go into base tables and create the journal. So it will stop in the interface itself. So those kind of validations it will check. సో అప్లికేషన్లో ఏదైతే ప్రీరిక్విజిట్ సెటప్స్ ఉన్నాయో సో అవన్నీ ప్రీరిక్విజిట్ సెటప్స్ మీట్ అయిందా లేదా ఈ జర్నల్ క్రియేషన్ అనేది సో సిస్టమ్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా చెక్ చేస్తుంది ఇన్ ద ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. Okay, so once the interface data is valid, then immediately that import journal. So we have a program import journal, and that job will going to get triggered automatically, and pull this data from the interface and post it into base tables. Base tables means the application front end automatically journals will get created and posted. So how this job is going to get triggered will be like I have selected when submitting this journal, right? Creation and posting, right? That way system will understand to import this journal, okay, automatically.